Wild facts about every country. Yemen, the only country starting with Y. Check this out. Old city Shaban, the desert's Manhattan. Think tall, 500-year-old mud buildings. Qatar, only country starting with Q. See Al Qura Island. It's famous for its huge mangrove forest. Called Purple Island for its ancient dye. Qatar also hosted the 2022 World Cup. Smallest host ever. You might guess Brazil for most World Cup wins. They border every South American country, except two. Chile, its borders are super unique. Super long and thin, not wide. It's on the Ring of Fire. Intense geology here. Expect volcanoes and earthquakes. The biggest earthquake ever hit Chile in 1960. A 9.5 magnitude quake. Lasted 11 minutes. Caused 6,000 deaths. Wow. But Indonesia had the loudest volcanic eruption. Krakatoa in 1883 hit 310 decibels. Humans rupture eardrums at 150 dB. Imagine that. Heard 3,000 miles away. The whole island vanished. Indonesia has tons of islands and volcanoes. An amazing wildlife. Borneo is split between 3 countries. Brunei has crazy car ownership. The Sultan owns over 5,000 cars. He's the second richest royal. But Mali had the richest person ever. Mansa Musa ruled the Mali Empire. Worth $400 billion today. Gold, salt, and slaves made him rich. Mauritania ended slavery last in 1981. Same year Bob Marley died. From Jamaica, old capital Port Royal was a pirate hub. It sank into the sea during an earthquake. Now it's an underwater museum. The Bahamas, also known for pirates. Now it's famous for swimming with piglets. Only 2 countries have the in their name. One is the Bahamas, other is the Gambia. Gambians used to vote with marbles. Liberia held the most fraudulent election ever. He got 234,000 votes. Only 15,000 voters. Sierra Leone means Lion Mountains. A storm sounded like a lion's roar. Portuguese explored Cape Verde in the 1400s. It's 10 islands, once empty. Tourism is key, but France gets most tourists. Funny fact, French fries aren't French. They're from Belgium. France renamed them Freedom Fries during the Iraq War. Iraq has the world's oldest human face mask. Saddam Hussein had the Quran written in blood. Used 27 liters of his own blood. Wild. Turkmenistan's president was pretty out there. He banned opera and dogs from the capital, and renamed bread after his mom. Kazakhstan, first satellite and man in space. Stan means place of. Found in many country names. Kazakhstan, Pakistan, and Tajikistan. Tajikistan, beautiful textiles passed down for ages. Look at those vibrant colors. Kyrgyzstan is the furthest from the ocean. 1,620 miles inland. Kiribatis flag symbolizes the Pacific Ocean. It's the first country to celebrate New Year. GMT plus 14 time. Way ahead. Phoenix Islands are part of Kiribati. The phoenix is Lebanon's national bird. Hummus is from Lebanon. They made a giant bowl for records. Syria has the world's largest restaurant. Mongolia has korakog, special occasion barbecue. Mongolia once ruled the biggest empire ever. From Europe to Japan. Azerbaijan, the burning mountain, glows naturally. Gabon has a natural nuclear reactor. One of a kind. 80% speak French there. France gets the most visitors. Sao Tome Principe, one of the least visited. Only 8,000 tourists a year. Djibouti plans Africa's first spaceport. Moldova in Moldova's capital. Saudi Arabia has the world's largest mall. But no alcohol allowed. Czech Republic drinks the most beer. They've led for 30 years straight. Prague wasn't bombed heavily in World War II. Belgrade, Serbia, fought over 115 times. Raised 44 times. Singapore, buildings can't be over 280 m. But they have the highest home ownership. 92%. The UK used to hold the pass the parcel record. 2,200 wrappers in 2.5 hours. Singapore, Monaco, Vatican City. Only 3 city-states left. Monaco. Citizens can't gamble, even with casinos. Vatican City, world's smallest country. The Pope's guarded by 135 Swiss soldiers. The Swiss Guard has protected him since 1506. Switzerland, fewest public holidays. 7 to 15. Myanmar has the most public holidays. 32. Japan, one car for every 24 people. Highest life expectancy, 1M plus over 90. Chad, lowest life expectancy, just 53 years. Niger, highest fertility rate, 6.91 kids per woman. Nigeria, Africa's largest economy. Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, 220 million and growing fast. Manila, world's most densely populated city. Philippines, home to the Chocolate Hills. Philippines, Asia's largest Christian nation, 86% plus Catholic. 3 countries named after saints. St. Kitts and Nevis, smallest country in the Americas. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, oldest botanical gardens in the Western Hemisphere. St. Lucia, only country named after a woman, named after St. Lucy of Syracuse. French sailors landed on her day in 1502. Belarus celebrates Christmas twice. Belarus built the world's largest truck in 2014. It was 8.7 m tall and carried 450 tons. Barbados, land of the flying fish. They glide 45 seconds at 40 plus mph. Dominica, home to the mountain chicken frog. It's called that because it tastes like chicken. Dominica and Nicaragua both have purple on their flag. Nicaragua, land of volcanoes and lakes. Honduras versus El Salvador, 1969 football match sparked a 100-hour war. El Salvador, most murders, but first to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. North Korea, stolen billions in crypto. North Korea, the world's most secretive country. South Korea, lowest fertility rate. South Korea, used to eat the most ramen. Vietnam took the crown. Vietnam eats 87 bowls of ramen annually. Vietnam War, tunnels built for short people. East Timor has the shortest people globally. East Timor, Asia's only Portuguese-speaking country. Seychelles, discovered by Vasco da Gama in 1502. Seychelles, once a pirate hideout. Legend says pirate treasure is buried here, worth $1.4 billion. Maldives, world's flattest country, might vanish by 2050. Federated States of Micronesia. Nan Madol is ancient architecture on a coral reef. Built 13th to 16th century. Palaces, temples, tombs over 1,000 years old. Eritrea, ancient Aksum kingdom built tall towers. Aksum, key to trade between Middle East and Roman Empire. Tunisia, home to one of the world's largest Roman amphitheaters. El Jim Amphitheater, built 238 AD. Star Wars was filmed here. UAE, reached Mars in 2021. UAE, 5th country to reach Mars, 2nd to orbit on first try. UAE, home to Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building. Abu Dhabi, Capital Gate is the world's most inclined building. 18 degrees. Italy, birthplace of Roman Empire and Renaissance. Italy, most World Heritage Sites. And invented Pisa. Slovenia, more subdivisions than UN nations. Slovenia, found the world's oldest wheel, 5,000 plus years old. Slovakia and Slovenia, similar names caused male mix-ups for years. Slovakia, unique natural wonder, Devil's Rock. Poland, set a record for the largest gathering of people with ear implants. 557 people raised awareness for hearing aids. Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania 2 million formed a human chain in 1989. The Baltic Way, a peaceful protest against Soviet occupation. Lithuania and Poland, once a single state, the Commonwealth. Winged Hussars, elite cavalry with winged armor for intimidation. They defeated a Russian army 4x their size in 1610. Lithuania, a Grand Duke once dressed as a woman to escape prison. Riga, Latvia, a Virgin Mary statue was tried for witchcraft in 1524. It floated, found guilty, and burned. Ghana, riots in 1997 over penis-snatching wizards. People were kidnapped, accused of using magic to steal penises for ransom. Côte d'Ivoire, once the teeth coast for ivory trade. Burkina Faso, Bobo people make huge butterfly masks for fertility ceremonies. Togo's capital, Paris of West Africa. Tonga, Tin Can Island received mail tossed in tin cans. Samoa, among the world's best tattoo artists. Samoan tattoos, rich in history and meaning across Polynesia. Vanuatu, practiced cannibalism until recently. Last case in 1969. UK. Abolished the death penalty in 1969. UK. United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland. Giant's Causeway, basalt slabs from cooled lava. Myth. Giants fought over it. Scotland. Orkney Island has Britain's oldest building. It's Europe's most complete Neolithic village. Scotland. 2 failed settlement attempts in North America before the UK formed. Nova Scotia, Canada. One of those early Scottish settlements. Canada. Longest coastline in the world. Canada. Longest undefended border, 5,000 plus miles. Canada. Maple leaf flag. Produces 80% of the world's maple syrup. Canada. Biggest donut consumers. Canada. Eastern point closer to Croatia than Vancouver. Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. Set in Dalmatia, Croatia. Same year, the House of Lords abolished the death penalty in England, Wales, and Scotland. UK equals United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. It's a sovereign state with 4 countries: England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland has a basalt plateau called Giant's Causeway, formed by cooling lava. Legend says giants from Ireland and Scotland built it. Scotland's Orkney Island has Britain's oldest building. It's Europe's most complete Neolithic village. Before England and Scotland united, Scotland tried 2 settlements. Both failed. New Scotland, Nova Scotia, is now in Canada. Canada has the world's longest coastline and a 5,000 plus mile undefended border. Canada, longest coastline, longest undefended border. Maple leaf on the flag. 80% of the world's maple syrup is made here. Canadians also love donuts. They're the biggest consumers. Canada's east coast is closer to Croatia than Vancouver. Shakespeare's Twelfth Night was set in Dalmatia, on the Adriatic coast. Sounds familiar? Dalmatians are named after this region. Cyprus, more cats than people. Over 1.5 million felines rule the island. A separate Turkish Cypriot state, the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, exists since 1983, but only Turkey recognizes it. No native camels in Turkey, but they have a wild camel wrestling festival. Turkey and Greece, an earthquake diplomacy pact. After 1999 earthquakes, they vowed to help each other, no matter what. Greece boasts more ancient history museums than anywhere else. World War II Nazis invaded. Athens hid statues in concrete and trenches. Napoleon in Egypt. The Rosetta Stone surfaced. Inscribed in Greek and hieroglyphs, it unlocked ancient Egyptian secrets. Think Egypt for pyramids? Sudan actually has over 250. South Sudan, the world's newest country, 2011. Denmark's flag is the oldest. Denmark, oldest flag and 2 of the oldest amusement parks. Happy nation, too. Denmark often ranks as one of the happiest places on Earth. Yep, Lego was invented in Denmark. Sweden has an ice hotel in Jokersjärvi. Sweden's home to over 200,000 islands, more than any other country. A historic Sweden versus Denmark rivalry. Denmark brought us Lego, Sweden gave us Minecraft. Into caves? Georgia's Varakina is the deepest on Earth, over 2,000 m down. This cave plunges over 2,000 meters deep. It's the deepest on Earth. Some caves hide gold. The Solomon Islands got their name from a gold quest. Explorer thought he'd found King Solomon's gold mines. Uzbekistan has the world's biggest gold mine and is double landlocked. One of only 22 countries never invaded by the British Empire. The walls of Benin, an African marvel, were destroyed by the British in 1897. Almost nothing remains of these ancient walls today. An ancient Mayan pyramid in Belize was destroyed by road construction. Belize also has the Great Blue Hole, the world's largest sea sinkhole. It's massive, 400 feet deep and nearly 1,000 feet wide. Mexico has the world's largest pyramid, Cholula. It's huge. Its base is bigger than 9 Olympic pools, for Giza's pyramid. Mexico's main export is cars, but Germany's auto game is next level. German engineering, Audi, BMW, Mercedes, VW, top-tier cars. San Marino, 1,300 vehicles per 100 people. Founded by a stonemason in 301 AD. A tiny, landlocked nation surrounded by Italy. Italy invaded Ethiopia, but Ethiopia won, standing strong against colonization. Ethiopia, home to Lucy, a 3.2 million-year-old human ancestor skeleton. The Central African Republic is the world's hungriest country. Republic of Congo, Odzala National Park protects forest elephants and gorillas. There are two Congos. Both got independence in 1960 from different colonizers. Both nations gained independence in 1960 but had different colonial powers. DRC is stacked with resources, $24 trillion in untapped wealth. But it's one of the poorest per capita countries. King Leopold II's reign was brutal. He committed horrors before Belgium took over. Belgium's had the longest governmentless streak. Longest period without a government? Belgium. Who borders Belgium? Luxembourg. See burning crosses there in late February? Ancient Celtic tradition. Ancient Celtic tradition to banish winter and welcome spring. Wales has over 600 castles. Mount Everest is named after a Welshman, Sir George Everest. Bhutan measures progress by gross national happiness, not GDP. They measure progress by gross national happiness, not GDP. Bhutan banned TV until 1990, fearing it would corrupt their Buddhist ways. Also in 1990, Tuvalu sold its TV country code, tripling their income. The domain name .tv is Tuvalu's country code. Tuvalu's flag features the Union Jack, like Fiji. Fiji has a sea snake deadly as 10 rattlesnakes. Thinking deadly animals? Australia comes to mind. Kangaroos and the Great Barrier Reef, unique to Australia. It has the most national parks of any country. Cameroon. The Karup National Park forest is over 60 million years old. Mount Cameroon gets tons of rain, but Mawsynram, India, is the wettest place on Earth. Mawsynram, India, gets an insane 11,800 millimeters of rain annually. Ancient Pakistan. Early flushing toilets and sewage systems. Pakistan, world's top bagpipe producer. India and Pakistan have noobs, but Russia has the most. Ukraine, visit Chernobyl? You need a permit for the exclusion zone. Romania, a 55 tall statue of an ancient Dacian ruler. Europe's tallest stone sculpture. Hungarian, one of the hardest languages to learn, from Central Asian steppes. Finnish is also part of the Uralic language family. Finland drinks the most coffee. Finns drink an average of 4 cups of coffee daily. Afghanistan, world's largest opium producer, over 90% of global supply. 2 giant Buddha statues were destroyed in 2001. India's Statue of Unity, world's tallest statue, 182 double the Statue of Liberty. Sri Lanka, first elected female head of government. A 15th-century cyclone destroyed the land bridge connecting Sri Lanka to India. That same era, Admiral Zheng He explored Vietnam, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Mecca, and East Africa. China owns all pandas, renting them out for up to $1 million a year. China's pirate queen, Zheng Yi-Sa, commanded 600 ships and 60,000 men. She terrorized the South China Sea. Somalia has a pirate stock exchange. It's open 24/7, and locals can profit by supporting pirate expeditions. Kenya, nearly half its electricity is geothermal. Sadly, only 2 northern white rhinos remain, protected in Kenya. Botswana, Africa's largest elephant population and biggest diamond producer. The Botswana-Zambia border is just 150 centimeters wide. Zambia's Victoria Falls is massive. Angel Falls in Venezuela is stunning too. Venezuela has the largest oil reserves on Earth. Algeria, petrol is cheaper than water. Also home to the world's tallest minaret. Libya's last monarch, King Idris I, ruled from 1951 until 1969. He was overthrown by Gaddafi, who ruled for 42 years. Gaddafi boosted Libya's health services to Africa's best. Literacy jumped from 25% to 89% under his rule, but he also tried to abolish. This country is the biggest diamond producer. Botswana/Zambia border is just 150 centimeters. Zambia's Victoria Falls is huge. Venezuela's Angel Falls is stunning too. Venezuela has the most oil reserves globally. In Algeria, gas is cheaper than water. They also have the world's tallest minaret. Libya's first and last monarch, King Idris I. He became king in 1951 after colonial rule ended. In '69, Gaddafi overthrew him in a coup. Gaddafi ruled as a dictator for 42 years. He boosted Libya's health services to top African levels. Literacy jumped from 25% to 89% under him. He also wanted online voting. Switzerland, 2009, divided by Italy, Germany, France. Swiss chocolate? The best. It's a huge export. Over 220,000 tons shipped out in 2018. Same year, Swaziland became Eswatini. Why? To avoid confusion with Switzerland. Eswatini, Africa's last absolute monarchy. North Macedonia, Europe's most mountainous country. Bulgaria, headshakes mean yes, nods mean no. Weird, right? Bulgarians nod for no, shake heads for yes. Bulgaria, home to the world's oldest gold artifacts, 7,000 years old. World's richest monarch? Not that Thai guy, the other one. Thailand, most motorbikes, most motorbike deaths. Avoid this road, Yungas Road in Bolivia. Yikes. Bolivia, the only place for amatory gemstone, a mix of amethyst and citron. Peru, 3/4 of the world's alpacas live here. Alpacas and llamas built Machu Picchu for the Inca Empire, built before the Spanish arrived in the 15th century. Spanish, over 500 million speakers globally. Spain, annual tomato fight in a village. Spain, Europe's only country bordering an African nation. Morocco, Fez, one of the oldest medieval cities, founded in the 9th century. Morocco, a valley of roses, producing 3,000 to 4,000 tons yearly. Netherlands, world's biggest flower exporter. Dutch people, the tallest in the world. Men average 186 centimeters. Zeeland province, gave New Zealand its name. New Zealand, first country to grant women the vote, 1893. Breathtaking landscapes. Most of Lord of the Rings filmed here. First to climb Everest? A New Zealander. Nepal, the only country with this flag. Himalayas, Buddha's birthplace. Cambodia, most Buddhists, home to Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat, world's largest religious building. Cambodia's flag has a building. Malta, flag has the George Cross. Heavily bombed in World War II. Malta, lots of shipwrecks and planes underwater. Grenada, features an underwater sculpture park. Marshall Islands, world's first and largest shark sanctuary. U.S. still handles security for Marshall Islands. U.S. first T-Rex skeleton found in Montana, 1902. U.S. invaded Panama. Sunrise on Pacific, sunset on Atlantic? Only here. Panama, first country outside U.S. to sell Coca-Cola. Costa Rica, over 25% of its land is protected in national parks. Kosovo, are you a country? Maybe. If so, you're the second youngest. Declared independence in 2008. Albania, 750,000 bunkers from Enver Hoxha's rule. Montenegro's internet domain changed from .u to .me at independence. Ruler claimed to be dead, Tsar Peter III. Russia, world's largest country. Sold Alaska for $7.2 million in 1897. That's about $120 million today with inflation. Russia needed cash. Few Russians live there. 2013. Meteorite exploded with 26-33x Hiroshima bomb power. South Africa, first to build and dismantle nuclear weapons. 1994. Made the world's largest milkshake, 1,955 gallons. U.S. beat them 6 years later. U.S. Grand Canyon, 277 miles along the Colorado River. A natural wonder. No buildings needed here. Oman, Sultan's decree makes most buildings white. Oman colonized Zanzibar. Tanzania, Africa's tallest peak, Mt. Kilimanjaro. African blackwood, super dense, used for instruments. Steel pan, made from industrial waste? Possibly. From Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad scorpion, one of the world's hottest chilies. Antigua and Barbuda had a peak named Mount Obama, 2009 to 2016. Least suicides in Antigua and Barbuda. Highest? Lesotho. Lesotho spends more GDP on education than any country. Landlocked, like Armenia. Armenia, first Christian state, earliest church. Bosnia and Herzegovina, Europe's last jungle. Malaysia, one of the world's oldest rainforests, 130 million years. Borneo people sailed to colonize Comoros and Madagascar over 1,000 years ago. Madagascar, only place for lemurs. 95% of reptiles, 89% plants, 92% mammals are unique. Mauritius, dodo bird's last known home. Cuba, home to the world's smallest bird, the bee hummingbird. Tiny, less than a tenth of an ounce, 2.5 inches long. Germany, Archaeopteryx, the first bird discovered here. German Empire once controlled much of Namibia. Namibia's name comes from the Namib Desert, the world's oldest. Palau, jellyfish without stingers in a lake cut off from the sea. Nauru, world's least visited country, under 1,000 tourists/year. Taiwan a country? If so, world's most mountainous island nation. Homeland of Austronesians, who migrated everywhere. Palestine a country? It depends. Dome of the Rock built during Umayyad Caliphate. First dome in Islamic architecture. Jordan, Petra, one of the world's oldest cities. Only 15% explored. Rediscovered by a Swiss explorer in 1812. Switzerland, neutral, like Andorra, at peace for over 1,000 years. Andorra, co-principality, 2 princes, from France and Spain. No currency, no national bank, no airport in Andorra. Poland banned flights to Andorra, COVID, then realized they had no airport. Estonia, first country with online voting, 2005. Digitally advanced. Estonia, 1,500 islands, 1,000 lakes, 7,000 rivers. Similar size to the Netherlands, a former colonial power. Suriname, a Dutch colony in South America. Guyana, built a drone using YouTube tutorials to fight illegal logging. Community of 9,000 plus filmed illegal activities. Burundi, officially the world's poorest nation, $270 GNI per capita. In 2005, they introduced online voting, boosting their digital image. Estonia, 1,500 islands, 1,000 lakes, 7,000 rivers. Similar size to the Netherlands, which had a colonial empire. Suriname was a Dutch colony in South America. In Guyana, locals built a drone from YouTube tutorials to stop illegal logging. They wanted to film illegal activity and report it. Burundi is officially the world's poorest nation. $270 GNI per capita. Malawi, a nation struggling, where the president sold their private jet for $15 million. Joyce Banda slashed her own salary by 30% to help the economy. That's serious dedication. Rwanda, banning plastic bags and holding monthly cleanups. Locals are actively restoring forests, building schools, and more. Talk about environmental champions. Ecuador was the first to grant nature its own rights. They also put the government in charge of protecting it. Colombia, second most biodiverse country on Earth, after Brazil. It's packed with life, 10x smaller than Brazil. Highest species density globally. More bird species than all of Europe and North America combined. Cuba, famous for its legendary rum and cigars, crafted for centuries. The CIA? They once tried to assassinate Fidel Castro with an exploding cigar. Uganda, home to the most primates on Earth, including rare mountain gorillas. In Kenya, meet the Maasai, nomadic warriors known for their incredible jumping dance. These dances are insane. Kenya is huge, over twice the size of Korea, with a similar population to South Korea. Ireland versus South Korea, same size, but Ireland's population is only 5 million. More Irish people live abroad than in Ireland. Fun fact, Ireland rocks Eurovision, winning the most times. Speaking of singing, Uruguay has the world's longest national anthem. Argentina, home to the world's southernmost city and the birthplace of tango. Paraguay, once fought a war against Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil. Their president died in battle, a tragic pride leading to huge loss. Nearly 90% of Paraguay's men were killed. Israel offered Albert Einstein the presidency. The Dead Sea, for 20 m below sea level and nearly 10x salter than the ocean. Senegal, discover Lake Rose, a naturally pink lake, also 10x salter than the ocean. Guinea, home to a rare tree discovered by a local botanist. 4 Guinea countries exist: Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Equatorial Guinea, Papua New Guinea. Their name's origin is a mystery. Guinea-Bissau, top 5 cashew nut producer. Equatorial Guinea boasts the world's largest frog. Papua New Guinea, most languages globally, over 800, and a poisonous bird. Its feathers contain deadly toxins. Portugal, first Europeans to explore Papua New Guinea. Portugal's borders are ancient, defined in the 12th century. One of the world's oldest nations, with borders mostly unchanged. The Anglo-Portuguese Alliance, the world's oldest political partnership. England, home to the oldest university in the world, built before the Aztecs. And they have an annual cheese rolling competition. Yes, people chase cheese down a hill. Winner gets the cheese. Norway invented the cheese slicer and has a football stadium overlooking the stunning Norwegian Sea. Iran, a mountain carved with a Hercules statue from 153 BC. Iran also had history's deadliest blizzard, killing 4,000. Bangladesh, most flood-prone country, but home to Bengal tigers and the largest mangrove forest. It's a land of extremes. Bahrain, the tree of life, planted in the desert with no water, still thrives. Planted in the 16th century, it's a desert marvel. Kuwait pledged $500 million in aid to the U.S. after Hurricane Katrina. Generous. U.S. Crazy Horse Memorial is underway, a massive mountain monument. It will honor the Oglala Lakota warrior Crazy Horse. The U.S. military budget? A staggering $800 billion. With 750 bases across 80 countries. That's 3x more than all others combined. Laos, the most bombed country ever. 2 million tons of ordnance dropped during Vietnam. That's a bomb every 8 minutes for 9 years. Wild. Despite being landlocked, Laos has a fast-growing economy. Zimbabwe, also landlocked, once had a booming economy. Then came hyperinflation, culminating in a $100 trillion banknote. They unearthed Africa's oldest dinosaur, 230 years old. Jurassic Park wasn't filmed in Costa Rica. Costa Rica abolished its army in 1949 using funds for education. This created an army of teachers with 97% literacy. Amazing. Iceland, no standing army, just a small coast guard. Iceland, no McDonald's. But Guatemala? That's where the Happy Meal was born. The original Happy Meal, small burger, fries, soda, and sundae. Simple. Guatemala's flag features a firearm. So does Mozambique's. Mozambique, Africa's largest marine reserve. Angola, home to giant sable antelopes, thought extinct, but now reviving. In 2003, 2 men stole a Boeing 727 in Angola and vanished. The plane and pilots, never seen again. Mystery. French croissant, actually from Austria. Austria has the world's largest ice cave and Otzi the Iceman, a 5,000-year-old mummy found frozen in ice. 1892, a topless sword duel in Liechtenstein over a flower arrangement. Liechtenstein and Haiti shared the exact same flag at the 1936 Olympics. They didn't even know they were twins. Voodoo, an officially recognized religion in Haiti. Dominican Republic, incredible amber deposits. Myanmar, the ruby capital of the world, with over 90% of global rubies. They have the world's largest cut ruby, 1,184 carats. A meteorite from Mars moon Phobos hit Yemen. It contained a mineral found nowhere else on Earth. Mind-blowing. Dominican Republic has amazing amber deposits. Myanmar, the ruby capital, 90% plus of world rubies come from here. It's home to the world's largest cut ruby, 1,184 carats. Not as rare as a meteorite from Mars moon Phobos that hit Yemen. It contains a mineral found nowhere else on Earth. It contains a mineral found nowhere else on Earth.